Okay. So for those who don't know you, tell us about who you are and what do you do?
So my name is Jennifer L. Scott, and I am the author of the Madame Chic series and Connoisseur Kids, and I am the YouTuber at the Daily Connoisseur. So I'm a content creator and an author.
That's awesome. And I do enjoy your content. I go and check it out from time to time. I'm mainly big on fasting, but definitely have to promote what you do as far as, like we were talking about before the call, the elegance and grace that you present definitely needs to go out to the world always.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Definitely. So when and how did you discover fasting?
So that's such a good question. I began fasting in March of 2020, kind of right at the beginning of the pandemic. And I think I just discovered it on YouTube. My cousin swears she told me about it, but I don't remember that. She said, I told you about this a long time ago, but I don't remember. But I discovered it on YouTube. I think I saw a TEDx talk on it or a TED talk. And at that point in my life, I wanted to lose some weight, like the baby weight, basically. So I thought, well, this is a good time to do it. It's the beginning of the lockdown. I might as well try something new. So that's when I started, and that's why I began.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because I was going to ask you what inspired you to begin fasting. So that I'm glad you touched on that. But
Mhm.
before you started fasting, how were you eating?
I am a pretty disciplined person, so I was eating really well. I did have a healthy diet. I've never been overweight per se, but some of my self-discipline was slipping in that outside of the regular meal times, I would snack late at night,
Hmm.
which is really against my principles because I write about that in my books. But I would stay up to like 11 o'clock at night working. And, I always had dinner pretty early at about 5. So usually at about 9 o'clock, maybe even 10 o'clock, I would eat something like cereal or nothing nutritious, just like I got really hungry. So I'd have a bunch of crackers or chips or cereal or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was just what I did for a long time. Or, I just walk as I'm cleaning the kitchen, I would have a grape or have, just eat something while I'm doing it. So
Yeah.
that's how I used to eat before I started fasting. I had no idea what I was doing when I was doing that, and why that was contributing to my slight weight gain and everything. So
Right. Yeah. No, I understand that. Like, in my own way, I was pretty much doing something similar, which in my case, I've always been skinny my whole life. I just kind of ballooned up at one point in my life because so much was going on. And that's when it hit me that I needed to do something about this. So I appreciate you sharing your experience.
that was
It's
me too. I've always been skinny, like, always just had a really good weight, never really thought about my weight much. But then, after having children, that changed. So
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. So how was your first fast? Can you tell me about the days? Like what you were experiencing, any symptoms or what
Mhm.
have you?
Well, so yeah, I did all the, research on it and watch videos on it. I thought, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
And so in the very beginning, because I always eat dinner pretty early anyway. I would always eat around 5 o'clock. So in the beginning, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna have dinner at 5 o'clock, and then it's easy. I'm not going to have anything after 5 o'clock. Like that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, it was quite hard because again, I stayed up till about 11 o'clock at night, and around those times when I used to snack, like 9 a.m. or 9 p.m., 10 p.m., I get these crazy hunger pains. And it was kind of hard in the beginning, like the first month or two, because I thought, you know, I would try to reason with myself and think, am I actually hungry right now? And then I thought, no, because I had a big, full, nutritious dinner. So nothing bad is going to happen to me. I'm not starving myself, but I think it's just my body telling me that I want a snack because I always have had one. So it was challenging that first month or two, but I really pushed through it. Like I said, I really enjoy self-discipline. So I kind of liked that feeling of, okay, no, I'm bigger than this hunger pain that I'm feeling at 10 o'clock at night. And
Yeah.
that was it. So I did push through it, but it was difficult in the first month or two.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely understand. It was. it was really interesting for me because I was having uh, just very slight issues, but in the beginning I wasn't really sure how all this went. It's something that I was trying before I actually realized what the term was and that it was a thing. So yeah, no, I'm definitely with you on that as far as what you may be going through when you're first getting started. But what is it like now for you compared to when you first started?
It's much easier now, and I actually enjoy that feeling now. Whereas before I was afraid of it, afraid of feeling hunger or feeling those hunger pains. I actually don't have those hunger pains anymore because I've retrained my body, because it's been over 2 years since I started doing this, and I don't eat after dinner now. So, but every now and then, like even last night after dinner, like maybe around 8:30 or 9, I did have like a hunger pain, which is unusual. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. But I just look at it as something that's interesting. And I actually enjoy it because I feel like I've mentioned this on my channel before, that something's happening when I feel those hunger pains, or when I feel that something going on in my body. Because I feel like I always say this is my non-scientific way of explaining that. I feel like autophagy is happening when I feel that, something good is
Yeah,
happening. Because and so I actually enjoy the feeling now. So that's the difference. I used to be afraid of it or irritated by it, and now I actually enjoy it.
yeah, no, I'm totally with you on that. I'm the same way. It's like, especially when I began to get into the more long term fast. It was 3 days.
Mm,
After that first prolonged fast, it's like everything changed for me. It's like that was really what I needed versus the short term fast.
mm.
And then I began to get into the more short term. So
Oh, that's interesting. I've never done a long-term fast.
okay, yeah, and it's my focus is no more than 3 days really when I
Hmm.
do that. So it's I appreciate hearing your experience, and you never know how one thing may affect you versus someone else. So
Right.
I appreciate us having that contrast. That's
Hmm.
perfect. So what benefits and results have you seen from fasting since you began up until now?
Well, the first year that I did the fasting, I started out at 145 pounds, and I'm 5'5", 5'6", for height, just for context. And then after about a year, I was at 116 pounds. So that was like my weight throughout, college, my early 20s. And I returned to that weight, which is amazing. So I lost about 29, 30 pounds basically in the first year. Now, some people might think that's not that much, or they might look at me and think that's a lot on someone like you. I don't know. I get both reactions.
Yeah,
But for me, it was amazing, because when I set out to start intermittent fasting, I I thought I'd maybe lose 5 or 10 pounds. I had no idea I was going to lose 30 pounds and get back to that weight I never thought I would ever be at again. So that was the
yeah,
results of the first year. And then I've done it since. It fluctuates now between 112 and 116, 117 pounds. That's where I am, and it stays there. And I've experimented with different things as well. Like I was traveling in Europe this summer and I wasn't really on my usual schedule. So I'm super flexible with it now, but it's like I'm just maintaining this weight, which is just wonderful for me. I'm so happy with it.
that's awesome. That is
Yeah.
definitely good. I think it's really cool that it's like we're all different in our own ways because of our experiences in life. So it's interesting to hear about the different benefits and results that people have had.
Hmm.
And I definitely resonate with you as far as the whole weight loss thing. I was actually mainly just looking to put on more muscle as far as weight,
Mm.
and I ended up losing 25 pounds. I wasn't really
Oh,
trying to
wow.
lose weight.
Yeah. But I know it just happens. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but what feeding window are you working with now? Like how have you adapted to it?
I mainly do 16/8. So I usually, I mean, it's just very rough. I usually have dinner at 5 p.m. and then I don't eat the next day until around 9 a.m. So roughly 16 hours of fasting and an 8-hour eating window. When I was in England this summer, I was doing 14/10 because they eat a lot later there. And I didn't want to be antisocial. So I did 14-10 over there, but I do like 16-8. That's my favorite.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's cool. That's definitely cool. I don't really have a particular time that I sync with. I'm just
Mhm.
the kind of person that I know that when nighttime hits, I feel differently after I eat after the sunset. And I
Yes.
like to work out in the mornings. And
Mhm.
when it comes down to it, after I get everything done and taken care of, it's always afternoon. So I usually eat around between like 12:30 to 2 o'clock.
Oh,
So
that's interesting. Mhm.
yeah, so that's what works with me. But
Yeah,
that's
everybody's
what I
different,
love.
I feel.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
I love how the flexibility of it.
Mhm.
So how are you eating now? I know you said you were already eating kind of healthily before, but
Mhm.
how has that shifted? Like, what kind of foods are you eating?
So I maintain a very healthy diet, or I try to, but I do eat a lot of nutrient dense foods and, but I have no diet. So I eat whatever I want, basically. I'm not, I eat carbs. I do have sugar. I do have, I document what I eat on my YouTube channel. So I do a lot of those videos where in the morning I might have, a smoothie or like a yogurt parfait or a cottage cheese with fruit, something like that, or even an egg dish. I'll eat, meat, vegetables, for lunch and dinner, or pasta, chicken pot pie. Like, it doesn't matter. Just, I like food and I
Yeah,
eat whatever I want, which is really nice. And I do have one dessert every day. So, and with sugar in it too. So that's why I'm like, I don't give people nutrition advice because I don't know if what
mhm,
I'm doing is right. I just know it works for me. I enjoy dessert. And so I like having one dessert every day. And I usually have it at around tea time for me. So, I mean, that could be anything from a slice of apple pie to strawberry shortcake to like a few squares of dark chocolate, just something sweet, you know what I mean? To help me get through the
yeah.
day. So I do eat like that. But I don't do any diet. I don't do keto, and uh, I just eat, what I want to eat basically, but try to keep it healthy.
I'm with you on that, and I
Mhm.
appreciate that too. Even more so with the doctor interviews that I've done so far, from Jason Fung to others. They're
Mhm.
pretty much saying that it's fasting is not a diet. It's
Right.
just a matter of when you eat and when you don't eat, and you can
Yes.
still find success in that. There's just other things that you can do to help to supplement that if you want to speed those results along.
Right.
So,
Of course.
and you're where you want to be. So
Mhm.
that's just a bonus.
Yes, exactly. I'm not changing it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. So how has your family responded or reacted to your fasting journey? When you first started versus now.
So in my immediate family, I'm the only person who does it. And they all, it was easy because we all had dinner early anyway. I think it's hard when people used to eat at like 8 o'clock and now they're like, all right, family, we're eating at 5 now, and everyone's like, I don't want to eat at 5, but we always ate that early. It's just that like my children will have a snack before bed. They'll have something healthy like apples or whatever. So I'm not like, they don't do intermittent fasting, but so they're just very supportive of me. They hardly notice it, honestly, but it's like if we're watching a movie, I'm not eating the popcorn, or I'm not having, the snacks in the evening if other people are having them. But they're all very supportive, and they know that I'm happy with how I feel and look, and I have more energy. So I think everyone is really happy with that. And as far as my other family members, my sister, she goes in and out. She does intermittent fasting. My dad was doing intermittent fasting and he lost 60 pounds.
Right.
Like, yeah, so it's been good, and my family's been really supportive of it.
That's good. So for anyone looking to learn more about fasting, what resources do you suggest and what has helped you out?
I love YouTube. And that's why, it's so neat that you're interviewing some of the doctors that I really enjoy watching on YouTube. It's so informative. Whether you're watching a video from a doctor who, is qualified to talk about it, or even just people like me who have a real life experience to share, I feel like there's a lot that you can learn from that. I know that there's some great books out there too, but I think a lot of people, when they discover fasting, they immerse themselves in it. You have to first throw out all of your preconceived notions about it, because initially someone, you know, even when I talk about it on my channel, people say, well, that's just an eating disorder, or that's just, you know, they have all these ideas of what they think fasting is, and a lot of them are wrong. And so I just say, have an open mind, educate yourself, and, you know, obviously discuss it with your nutritionist or doctor, and, you know, just do it the right way, and with an open mind, and see how it works for you.
What words of inspiration
Mhm.
would you give someone who's actually considering doing fasting?
I would say to enjoy the journey. Don't be afraid of it. And also don't overanalyze it. I get a lot of comments saying, well, you know, it's been 1 week and I haven't lost a pound, and I've, you know, and I'm this and that. Don't stress over it. Just enjoy the process. And the whole point is that you're allowing your body to heal, and without constantly eating all day long, which is what most people do. Your body has a break, and that's a good thing, and it can work on things other than digestion. So this is an exciting thing. This is a good thing, and just enjoy the process.
Perfect. Perfect. And I know you mentioned before what you do, and you mentioned your book series, but I would like for you to, specifically let people know here where they can actually find you, you know.
Sure. Mhm. You can find me at www.jenniferlscott.com, or on YouTube at The Daily Connoisseur.
Perfect. That's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Thank you very much for taking this time with me today. I am very grateful for your time here. It's always great talking with you and hearing your experience, and definitely hope to inspire and motivate others to really take control of their health the way that you have.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure.